Today's guest is Chakradar Sriperumbudur. Although he goes by Swamy, and I appreciate that, we won't talk about how many times I had to practice his name. He's the Chief Digital Officer and Chief AI Officer at Expedite InfoTech. And as a fellow follower of emerging technology, I am really looking forward to this conversation and learning how this became his focus in his career. So thanks for joining me today, Swamy.
Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it. We just had a small discussion which led to here. So thanks for having me. And first of all, thanks for doing this phenomenal work in the community. So appreciate it, Jeremy, what you're doing.
So for those who haven't had a chance to have a conversation with you, get to know you a little bit, talk about yourself. Where are you from? Who are you? And what do you do?
Okay, thank you, Jeremy. So it's a very open-ended, so it may take almost 30 minutes. But let me just give a little bit brief about me. So as Jeremy mentioned, my full name is Chakradar Swamy Sriperumbudur. I go by Swamy. Why? Now, by this time, you know why. So I hail from India, a place called Hyderabad, which is a southern part of India. So I grew up there. I did my engineering. And it was a very ironic, those times we have to take similar to SAT back in days in India. And then you have to go to a place where they will, based on your ranking, they say, okay, what colleges are available, free seats, what branches are available. And then when I saw, I want to do electronics, I want to do a little bit of mechanical, I want to do computer science, but then there is no combination. Either you have to do electrical or electronics. Then I found something called printing technology, which is a very new. I said, okay, what does it contain? They said, hey, you can do electronics, mechanical, and computer science. I said, okay, there you go. So I picked my printing technology degree, and that was a very fascinating because it opened my eyes. And because it was a new technology, I'm glad I did. So it was, even though in the university, we got an opportunity to go everywhere, visit the industries, meet different people. So it's almost like there was no professors, the way how they teach in the universities, we have to call the industry experts to come and do, because it is a first batch. So we are just exploring everything. So that really gave me more fascinating. And fast forward, I did a little bit of work experience in India. And then it just happened over a dinner that, somebody invited me to come to US. And I just been in the US almost since 25 plus years.
Wow.
And as a part of the career, so I moved into the IT side, but I always want to, even though I'm a technologist, want to solve the business problem. That made me more going to Verizon, where I did a long-term, almost like 12 plus years. I invented a few things. I have some patents. And then I said, okay, let me come out and see how I can help the startup ecosystem, as I've been always in the heart as an entrepreneur. So I became an entrepreneur, started working multiple companies as a product sides, and then how I can support them to bring into the bootstrap to multinational level or multi-country level, and which again pivoted. It's all about one word called transformation.
Yep.
Because you are completely changing the way how you are leading. So I have been working those products and in the commercial side. And then I met with these founders in Expedite InfoTech, Nagesh and others who I know since a long time. Then they said, hey, you are doing a lot of these things in the transformation in the commercial side, but you need to come to public sector side. There is a lot going on. They are very much in the backwards, if you look at it, compared to the commercial, however they're going, but now they are doing fast forward. How can you help? So then I end up in where I am as a chief digital and chief AI officer in Expedite InfoTech. But I get a very much privileged to work with some of the top leaders in the public sector. I'm able to meet with them and trying to see what are their business initiatives and how we can help them to pivot and do the digital transformation. So that's where I am right now.
So, I mean, that's very, very interesting. How do you keep up with all of this emerging technology that, this week it's Gen AI, in the future, not too far out, it's quantum. How do you keep up with that?
It's a very good question and a loaded question, because previously when we were growing up, any of the technology to go to the next level, it takes minimum 2 to 5 years. So that you have always a catching up time and see how things are. And then especially you are in the one of the best country in the world. So all the advancements are happening. So I used to spend a lot of time in Silicon Valley. So we used to go to different conferences, meetups, and then say that, okay, this is all going to be. But if you fast forward last couple of years, it's not about years or months. It's all about almost, I would say that weeks, if not days. Like, today something is there, tomorrow something else is coming up. So it's very hard to keep up. But however, personally, what I'm trying is, I really love this organization like an ACT and some of the AFC. So there are so many different organizations have come where they have created a platforms to invite the industry experts as well as the public sectors, where we are all meeting there. For example, now I have been invited by the CIO magazine to attend the CIO 100 in next month in August, where all the industry experts and the public sectors were all, meeting, then trying to see what is all happening in the respective industries, how we can do. It's more about a knowledge sharing. The days have gone where everybody is a competitor. Now I say this is a building an ecosystem and see how each one of us can collaborate and bring up something more innovative, which will be helpful for the society and the community at large. For example, if you see climate control, right, sustainability, that used to be somewhere hidden, but now it is very much in the forefront. Any activity you do, how are you connecting to sustainability? How are you connecting to the clean energy? Because if you don't take care as a leader in the community, you are basically doing harm to the world. So it's all about how we are able to collaborate and work with different peers. Now there are so many platforms, so many mediums, just like you, Jeremy. Now we are having a Zoom conference, right? So there are one-on-ones, one in many groups. And of course, some of these product companies like, the Microsoft or Salesforce, again, there are AWS, a lot of the conferences are happening. So it's all about where you can be there in the tech conference and be yourself, be authentic and bring those use cases and be collaborative and have a eagerness to learn. Not say that, okay, I have done enough, I have 25 years of experience, I am the monarch. Those days are gone everywhere. And I'm very happy to say that the other day when I was traveling, I sat next to an undergrad kid, and these kids are doing a lot of innovation. So there are some things which even we can learn from the students because their innovation is there. So there is a openness in learning will help you, and you can collaborate and bring the diversity, not only at your peer level, but everybody, wherever you are, there is always something to learn. Look at things from a different angles or different lens.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So as you've gone through your career and you've done some interesting things and had some interesting focuses, looking back, what's something you would go, oh man, I wish we didn't do it that way, or there's got to be a better way to do whatever it is you would think of. And I'm going to caveat that and say, Swamy, that you don't have to have the answer on how to solve it, right? That could take its own whole process. But what's something, or more than one something, if you have them, that you would look back and go, we should really reconsider how we do that?
I think it's a great question. Always I respect Steve Jobs, and I can still remember the commencement speech which he has given in Harvard, right? Always the dots are connected when you look back. When you look forward, because you are always visionary, you don't know what is all happening. But when you look back, now we have like 24 years to look back and see where the dots are connected, what are the things we could have done something better, right? So in those cases, I thought, as soon as I have done some of the engineering, immediately I went into the workforce. I started working on, and in the process, when you start working on, sometimes it becomes very routine. You are so busy, when you are working, especially starting of the career, 24 hours, you are very busy, either the learning and doing. I wish personally, again, each one has a different thought process and different things the God will give you to look at it. And each one, It's like, whether you have a half glass empty or a half glass full, what is your perspective? So in my personal view, I would have probably thought, should have taken in the research side, spend more time in the labs, more time in the industry, more time in the research and trying to do something more, a bigger pragmatic view than coming to a narrow field of working something and then just focusing on. Maybe I would have spent some more little bit different. That would have been helped, but I'm not at all regretful. But I'm saying if I want to do something changing, maybe I would have gone into a PhD perspective, because I really love the academic side. I would love to do the research. That's why I'm now part of the ACT-IAC, the community of interest. And similarly, I'm a lot of other things. I'm part of the HMG advisory. So I'm trying to say that, how can we do the research? Because this is something academic brain, what it comes, because I did a small stint as a professor also back in India. So the teaching side, academic side will always keep my lights on, saying that, something innovative, how can we invent? So I think each person is different. And when you look back, there are a few things I think I would have continued in probably a research side before coming to the industry. Whether that is a good or bad, I don't know.
Yes, I can totally feel what you're talking about, right? I mean, many of us in our early career get very tactical. We're focused on, I was a software engineer, so I was focused on writing code, writing the best code I could write it, getting it done, checking the box. But in my late career, I realized problem solving skills are actually much more important, because all that other stuff can be worked out. And that's something I give advice to early career people. That's a piece of advice I give them is stop looking here, look like this, and get better understandings of what's going around you and methodologies for solving problems. The technology will work itself out.
Yeah, I think you really hit, right on, because the problem solving skills, analytical skills, and then look at the strategic approach, the holistic approach, how you see it now than a very narrow focus. That was not there, because those days you were always pressing on something, because we came from a middle family size, right? So middle income, we want to be on our food. We don't want to depending upon the parent. They already spend a lot of money on us. Okay, how can we start earning? How can we do? That's what now I'm telling the people. Hey, you can always earn and learn. That's good, but think about it, a holistic approach. Don't be away from your goal. Have a bigger goals, have a bigger dreams, dream big, so that you have a more intuition to go towards it. Maybe not today, but tomorrow. But if you're thinking, okay, I'm just trying to earn like $2,000 per month, I'm meeting my needs, I'm done, then you will not able to pivot, because you're not having a bigger dream. So have big, so that you always have that, the third stop learning and going yourself. If we don't push yourself, now I have seen more in the projects, right? When you are focusing under pressure, your focus is 100%. And you are able to evolve a lot of things which you even don't know that, oh yeah, you can do better if you're able to focus. But then before focus, you have that, the strategic approach, a holistic approach, where you can really think about it and then go and lay the plan.
Well, and as you said earlier, being able to take a look at where you're headed will also help you figure out what you need to learn along the way, and being open to those learning opportunities will then, who knows, take you in another direction that you never planned on. You started in the printing world because you were interested in very certain things, but that then opened your opportunities to even more. And I think technology, you said it goes so quickly, right? There's always something new, weeks, days. So if you're in technology and you're focused on one piece of it and that's all you do, you're obsolete so quickly.
Absolutely. I see so many people. I feel very pity, because when I'm talking to a lot of the people, because of the current economy, a lot of the things are being, the reduction in force is coming so fast. A lot of the people are coming. They said, hey, what do you bring to the table? And unfortunately, majority of the people are very much close-minded. They're not open-minded. So close-minded with all the technology. Oh yeah, I'm a guru in Kubernetes. I'm guru in the cloud. I'm guru in that. Okay, so what is the business problem are you solving? What is the contribution you are doing to the community? You need to go a little bit step up and see, act as a business leader, even though you are a technology leader. How are you going adding value to the business? How are you going to enabling through the technology the business? Not just saying that, okay, I'm lights on, I'm able to keep all my servers up and running, all the patches are done, everything is good. So what?
Yeah, I think just along those same lines, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I said, I I always like to recommend to somebody who's getting an IT degree to minor in some functional business discipline,
Yeah,
economics, finance, business administration, minor in something that will then, provide you a basis for understanding everything else that's going on, because it's not just IT.
very great point you mentioned, and that's why I like the education system in the US, because back in days when I was studying, when you are going into one field, that's it, you are fixed to that field. So that's why when I came here, I did my master's, I did my MBA here. So it really opened up here because
Yeah.
you can not only focus on your core area, but then you do some of these minors. Like, I told my kids, hey, you do whatever is interested, and my kids have to they happily did, like, double major, double minor. So they are exploring. The more knowledge you gain, then you may think that you are an engineer, but maybe over the behind the your brain, in the subconscious mind, maybe you are a poet, maybe you are an artist, you don't know. But because you are able to pivot that by taking many classes, getting exposure, getting the network. And here the whole education system is so good. You go on a field trips, you go to different countries, the cultures, I mean, there is so much big exposure. It's all up to the student, how much they want to capture, how much they want to persuade, and how they want to put that into action.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great suggestion, and hopefully people will take that suggestion. So what's coming up for you, Swamy? What do you have going on outside of the normal work for yourself? What else do you have going on?
Oh man, so I'm pretty big advocate of supporting the local communities. So I follow a monk. His name is Sri Chinnaji Swamiji. He is from India. He has a big ashram in India, but he comes almost every year here. And me and my wife started a school, which is a free school, like a Sunday school, like a typical to a church, you can say that. So we are doing our Vedic scripts. We are teaching almost like 70 plus kids every week at my place. My house is like an ashram, and all these things are described by the monk who comes here every year and goes around the places. So we have been running this school like a non-profit, just a volunteering, I would say, to all the people. Whoever is interested, they can come and learn. And we have been doing almost 20 plus years serving the community. And then on part of it, we also have something called a volunteering for service, which is called VT Seva. So how can you help the youth to change or improve their personality development? The only way any kid can really learn is by volunteering. So we encourage a lot of these high school kids to go into the community, do volunteering. We have different programs, and we do a lot of this fundraising to support
Hmm.
free education to visually challenged kids as well as the underprivileged kids. So the monk has started few schools at a large scale, and all of them are free in India. And all these people, based on whether you are visually challenged and underprivileged, whether you come from a tribe where people are not really supporting you, you only have a zeal to learn, you please go there. So we did. And one of the accolades I just want to share is the team who we are supporting, the visually challenged, the team from India, they recently came to US, not because we sponsored. There is an organization, robotics organization. They invited them. They sponsored everything to come because they became, I don't know exactly whether they became world champions or they have been invited to participate in the world championship. That means they really raised the bar high, and saying that the visual impairment does not stop one to innovate things
Mm.
if you are able to have a zeal to do something better for the community. And they did awesome job, and the credit goes to all the youth in the US who are supported that initiative.
Wow, that's amazing. We'll make sure to put links in the description for anybody who wants to help support that nonprofit. Well, Swamy, this has been a really great conversation. It's great to get to know you, and I look forward to interacting with you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me, and appreciate for inviting me today and sharing your story as well. So I would love to invite you as well to talk to some of my folks who are in the high school. I think you do great service in the community and then want some of the tidbits from you to support these people.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Swamy.
Thank you. Have a great evening.